Good morning. Welcome to today's math class. In the last class, we started our new chapter, circles. And we have discussed different terms related to circles. I think you all understood the terms or parts of circle. And we have learned one important property also. Do you remember that? The property that we have learned from the previous class? Yes. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. What is that? Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. Yes, we have learned it converse also. What is the converse? Yes, if the angles subtended by the chords of a circle at the center are equal, then the chords are equal. Isn't it? Yes. Okay. Today we shall discuss some more important properties and theorems on circles. Okay. First one. The perpendicular from the center of a circle to a chord bisects the chord. First property says that the perpendicular from the center of a circle to a chord bisects the chord. Clear? Okay. Look here. What is the property says that the perpendicular from the center of a circle to a chord, to any chord. So here is the chord. Here I draw the chord. Okay. So the perpendicular from the center to a chord bisects the chord. Bisects means divide the chords into equal length. So this perpendicular bisector divides the chord into equal length. That is the first property. Got it? Yes. Now it has a converse. Okay, let's try to reverse it. Okay. The line joining from the center of a circle to the midpoint of a chord is perpendicular to the chord. That is the converse. What is that? The line joining from the center of a circle to the midpoint of a chord is perpendicular to the chord. Clear? If the chord's length of the chord's midpoint, that means this chord have two parts. Okay. Their length are equal. Then the line joining from the center to the midpoint of this chord is perpendicular to the chord. That's the first property. Clear? Yes. Now second property. There is one and only one circle passing through three given non-collinear points. What is that? There is only one circle passing through three given non-collinear points. What is non-collinear points? Yes, the points are not on the same line are called non-collinear points. Not on the same line. If the points are on the same line are called collinear. So these points are called collinear points because they are on the same line. Non-collinear means points are not on the same line. So these points are not collinear. 3 points. And the property says that there is only one circle passing through three non-collinear points. Only one circle passing through three non-collinear points. Clear? Second property? Yes. Now third one. Equal chords of a circle are equidistant from the center. Third property says that equal chords of a circle are equidistant from the center. If the chords are equal, then they have equal distance from the center. Okay, look here. Here is one chord, here is another chord, and the chords are equal. And the property says that if two equal chords are equidistant from the center. So this distance equal. This is the center. These distance and these distance are equal. Clear? Equal chords of a circle are equidistant from the center. Okay, can you say it converse? Just opposite. Yes. Chords of a circle which are equidistant from the center, yes, are equal. That's all. What is that? Chords of a circle which are equidistant from the center are equal. If the distance are equal, then chords also equal. Clear? Third property. Yes. Now, arcs and angles on circles. Okay. We know that the central angle of a circle is, what is the central angle of a circle? It is 360 degree. The central angle of a circle is 360 degree. We know that. Then what is the degree measure of a semicircle? Semicircle angle is, yes, half of 360. That is 180 degree. Semicircle, half circle. So the degree measure angle is 180 degree. Okay. Then what is central angle means? Yes, central angle means an angle subtended by an arc at the center of a circle is called the central angle. An angle subtended by an arc at the center of a circle is called central angle. Okay. So, here we have some important theorems on related to this arcs and angles. Okay. First theorem. An angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. The first theorem says that an angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. Okay. Okay, I will show you. Look here. An angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. So this is the central angle. Okay. An angle subtended by an arc at the center is called the central angle. So this is the arc. So it subtended the central angle here. So this is the central angle. Okay. So this is another angle subtended by the same arc. Okay. These are the two angles subtended by the arc. Clear? Then the theorem says that an angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. So this angle is double. That is, this is 2x, this is x. Clear? If this angle is x, then its central angle is double of that. Clear? That is first theorem. An angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. Clear? Yes. Now, we can say in reverse. That means here, this angle is 100 degree. The central angle is 100 degree. Then what will be this angle? Yes, it is just half of this. Clear? then this angle is 50 degree. So 50 degree double is 100. So this angle is just half of this angle. Now it's clear? Yes, first theorem. Now second theorem. Angles in the same segment are equal in measures. Angles in the same angles of a circle in the same segment are equal. Segment, you know that, a segment. Okay, so look here. Okay. What is the second theorem says that? Angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. Okay. So this is a segment. Segment means it is the region between a chord and an arc. So this is an arc. This is a major segment and this is a chord. So this region is called segment. So the theorem says that angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. This angle and this angle. Both of these angles are equal in measures because these two angles are in the same segment. Now it's clear. Angles in the same segment of a circle are equal in measures. If it is 30 degree, this also 30 degree. Because these two angles are in the same segment. Clear? That's the second theorem. Angles in the same segment of a circle are equal in measures. Are equal. Clear? Yes. Now, last one. Angles in a semicircle are right angles. All angles in a semicircle are right angles. So, what is a right angle? What is a semicircle? Yes, semicircle means the chord passing through the center of the circle. That is a semicircle. So, this is a semicircle. The chord passing through the center of the circle is a semicircle. So, this is a semicircle and every angles in this semicircle is 90 degree. So, this angle is 90 degree. Also this. In every angle, all angles in a semicircle are 90 degree. That is right angles. But this is different. This is segment. Here, angles are equal in measures. But in a semicircle, all angles are right angles. Now it's clear? Yes. So, study these properties and theorems. Using these properties and theorems, we have to solve many questions. Okay, let us try some questions. First question, look here. Find the length of a chord which is at a distance of 5 cm from the center of a circle of radius 13 cm. Find the length of a chord which is at a distance of 5 cm from the center of a circle of radius 13 cm. Here we have to find the length of the chord using the first property. Okay, what is that? Okay, let's draw the figure. Using the given condition, find the length of a chord which is at a distance of 5 cm from the center of a circle of radius 13 cm. So, center is this O and this is the chord. We need to find the length of this chord. Then this is the distance given. This is the distance 5 cm. given in the question. The length, find the length of a chord which is at a distance of 5 centimeter from the center. Okay. Of radius. Radius is given. What is the radius? This is radius from center to any point. So this is 13 centimeter. Okay. So what we need to find? Yes, we need to find the length of the chord. Okay, let's name it as AB. Okay. Find the length of AB. Okay. How can you find? So, first let AB be the chord of AB be the chord. And given that OA. OA is the radius. Then name this as C. OC. No, OL. Okay. Now given OL equal to 5 centimeter. It is given in the question. 5 centimeter away from the center of the circle. So OL equal to 5 centimeter and OA. OA is the radius. It is 13 centimeter given in the question. And so find the length of AB. Consider the triangle. This triangle. What is this? ALO. Consider the right triangle. Right angle triangle O ALO. Consider the right angle triangle. This is 90 degree. So take this right angle triangle ALO. Okay. We know by Pythagoras theorem, in a right angle triangle, Pythagoras theorem says that the longest side square equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. So this is the longest side. This side we know. We need to find this side first using the Pythagoras property of a right angle triangle. Clear? So how will you find AL square? First write. This is the right angle triangle ALO. Here OA square. OA square. This longest side square equal to AL square plus OL square. It is the Pythagoras theorem. This side square equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. Now we need to find AL. So write that. AL square equal to this OA square minus OL square. What is OA square? OA is given 13 square. Then OL also given in the question 5 centimeter, 5 square. Now what is 13 square? 13 square equal to 169 and 5 square 25. Okay, 169 minus 25 equal to 144. This is AL square. AL square equal to 144. Now what is AL? AL is square root of 144 which is equal to 12. So length of this is 12 centimeter. Length of this side, that is AL equal to 12 centimeter. What we need to find? Length of the chord. By using the property perpendicular from the center of a chord bisects the chord. So these two lengths are equal. So what is the total length of the chord AB? Length of the chord AB equal to, yes, 12 plus 12 or 12 into 2 which is equal to 24. That is the length of the chord. Clear? Now it's clear. Use the property perpendicular from the center of a circle to a chord bisects the chord. We use that property to find this side first, AL. Then AL plus AL. AL plus LB equal to AB which is equal to 24. Now clear? Okay, second question. In the figure, O is the center of the circle and radius 5 cm. If OM perpendicular to AB and ON perpendicular to CD. These two chords AB and CD are chords. OM perpendicular to AB, ON perpendicular to CD, and AB parallel to CD. AB, the length of AB is given 6 cm, CD equal to given 8 cm. Find the length of this, that is MN. Find the length of MN. Okay, that's a question. So in the question, it is given that radius is 5 cm. So what is the radius? Radius is the line segment joining from the center to any point on the circle. So just draw this. So OA is one of the radius and OC is another radius. Okay, just draw O to A and O to C. So it is given that OA equal to OC equal to 5 centimeter. Okay, then next AB, length ABCD is given. Now MN are midpoints of AB. Okay, perpendicular means it divides. It is the midpoint. M is the midpoint of AB. N is the midpoint of CD, which means divides the chord into equal length. Okay, now consider, then what is AM? What is AM? AB equal to 6 centimeter. Then AM equal to MB. Both are equal in length. So AM equal to MB equal to half of AB. Half of AB. AB equal to 6 centimeter. So half of AB 6 by 2. 3 centimeter. So AM equal to 3 centimeter. Now what is CN? CN equal to ND. Both are equal in length. It is given CD length is 8. So half equal to half of CD. 8 by 2, that is 4 centimeter. So AM equal to 3 centimeter. CN equal to 4 centimeter. And this is the radius. Radius equal to 5 centimeter. Both radius are equal. Okay. Now, how to find this length? Yes. Take these two right triangles. Then find the side. This side and this side. Okay. So, take first this triangle. What is the first triangle? OAM. Consider the first right triangle OAM. In OAM, find the length of OM using Pythagoras property. First take the triangle OAM. Right angle triangle. This is the longest side, 5. So, OM square equal to, in the right angle triangle OAM, OM square equal to, yes, OA square minus AM square. That we know. OA square, OA equal to 5 square. AM equal to 3 square. So what is this? 5 square, 25. 3 square, 9. 25 minus 6, minus 9, 16. This is OM square. Therefore, OM equal to square root of 16 equal to 4 centimeter. So OM. We got this side OM equal to 4 centimeter. Now take the next right angle triangle CNO. CNO. In this CNO, CN equal to 4, OC equal to 5. So find ON square. ON square equal to, yes, subtract the other two sides. CO square or OC square minus CN square. OC 5 square. CN 4 square. 5 square 25. 4 square 16. 25 minus 16, 9. Therefore, ON equal to square root of 9 equal to 3 centimeter. So, OM 4 and ON 3 centimeter. Now, what about MN? Mn equal to? Yes. OM plus ON equal to Mn. So the length of Mn equal to? Yes, 4 plus 3 equal to 7 centimeter. So Mn equal to OM plus ON. 4 plus 3 equal to 7. So 7 centimeter. The length of Mn equal to 7 centimeter. Now it's clear? Okay, this way you can solve the problems. Okay, that's all about today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.